Shabbat Shalom, Chag Sameach. Today is Shabbat Shuvah. It's the first Shabbat of the year 5778. The year that we learn on Rosh Hashanah is the year of Etz HaChaim. It's the year of Tree of Life. And Tree of Life means so much. There is so much secret in the year 5778, and it's not by coincidence that the logo of Erez Cultural Center is the Tree of Life, as you see it on the podium. Tree of Life is also the 10 Sefirot, the 10 sphere of energy that everything comes through when we want to connect to the light force of God. So you could say that this is the year of Kabbalah. This is the year of Zohar. This is the year of Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai. This is the year of Rabbi Isaac Luria, Ari Agadosh. And this Shabbat, we read one of the most amazing sections of the Torah, the one before the end of the Torah, the section of Haazinu. It's a beautiful poem written in a very unusual way. The whole section is on two sections of the Torah, and it's in a design in a way that it's like the Star of David, Magen David. There are 52 verses, 26 on each page of the Torah. And I know we all like the number 26 because it represents the numerical value of the highest name of God, the Yud Kei Vav Kei. This section is always read on the Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. There are 7 days between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And Ari Agadosh explains that these 7 days are the most important 7 days of the next year. Because every day of these 7 days has a tremendous impact of the rest of the days of the year. That means today, which is the Shabbat, the energy that we receive this Shabbat, the consciousness that we have this Shabbat would impact all the Shabbats of the next year. So whatever you receive today, whatever your desire is today, it would be your saving for all the Shabbats to come next year. Tomorrow, Sunday, however you feel, whatever your conscience is, whatever your emotion is, would impact all the Sundays of the year. And it goes on until Yom Kippur. So it's very, very important of how we behave, how we control ourselves, and how we stay connected to the light force of God. And it's not by coincidence that this section is read on the Shabbat between Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And this year is going to be an amazing year because it's all beginning right after Rosh Hashanah. The first two of Rosh Hashanah is Shabbat. And the Yom Kippur is on Shabbat. In Rosh Hashanah, we receive so much light. Every one of us, we received, as Ari Agadosh explains, we receive all the seeds that we need to receive in order to be a tremendous tree for the whole year. Every blessing that you need, the potential of every blessing that you need for the whole year, we received it in the 2 days of Rosh Hashanah. We got it all. Everything that you need for health, for sustenance, for relationship, for happiness, everything, we have received it. But it's in the form of potential. It's like a gardener who plants the seed into the ground. Now this gardener, the light force of God, has planted all the seeds that we need in every one of us has planted it. And if you're interested in planting garden, if you're interested in planting a tree, a gardener knows, a good gardener knows, that once you put the seed and you cover it, you immediately need to water it down. You usually can water it within the next 7 days. But the best way for the seed to grow is to water it immediately. This Shabbat, we receive the rain. We receive the water. We receive the heavenly rain through the reading of the Torah and the Haftarah. It says in the Haftarah, God says that I will drop like rain, like dew to you, and you will grow, you become like a tree, and your essence, your smell, your shadow will hover everybody who wants to benefit from your tree. So this is a powerful, powerful Shabbat. It's the Shabbat that we can nourish. We can start working on the seeds that we received on Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur. And if we appreciate everything that we received in Rosh Hashanah, if we truly appreciate all the light that we receive, all the seeds that we receive, and we, like a good gardener, we pay attention to it, and we grow it, and we watch it, and we cut the stuff that prevents this tree to grow, then you're going to have a year full of blessing, full of barakah, full of light force. It's the year of tree of life, year of Etzachayim. What does it mean? What does it really mean, tree of life, Etzachayim? I mentioned these on Rosh Hashanah, but I'm going to repeat it again because it's very, very important to understand. When Adam and Eve were in Garden of Eden, they were in heaven, God first gave them the tree of life, gave them the Etzachayim. And as long as they stayed with that consciousness, with that connection, they were in control of their life. They had no problem. All the elements of the world, the water, the fire, the earth, all the 4 elements were in control of Adam and Eve. All the animals fear Adam and Eve. God tells Adam, name all the trees, name all the fruits, name all the flowers, name all the creation. Everything was in the state of suspense until Adam named everything. What do we mean by naming everything? Because he was connected to tree of life, he had the power and control over everything. We see what happens. We see the hurricanes. We see earthquake. What does it show us? Why all these things happening right before Rosh Hashanah? To tell us that we don't have control over earth, wind, fire, and earth. We don't have control over waters. We don't have control over air. We don't have control over earth. Why? Because we connected to Etzadat, to the tree of good and bad, to our selfishness, to what is it good for me. It says in Midrash that these 10 days of Rosh Hashanah to Yom Kippur, a sound comes, a voice comes from Mount Sinai to every human being on earth. A sound comes, a request comes from Mount Sinai. And this sound says, come to me. Shabbat Shuvah means Shabbat of return. There is a sound that comes from Sinai, says, come to me. Come to me. Return to me. Return to the light force of God. But why don't we hear it? And Ari says this sound that comes from Mount Sinai becomes even stronger in these 10 days. This sound comes every morning. Every morning. Mount Sinai calls us. Come back to me. Return to me. And these 10 days, these sounds become even stronger, becomes even more powerful. And Ari explains that this sound is a spiritual sound. Your soul will hear it. Your body may not hear it, but your soul hears it. That's why when it comes to Rosh Hashanah and Yom Kippur, even when we have not a single interest in spirituality, all of a sudden we become somehow spiritual. Even to those Jews who don't respect nothing in Judaism, who don't believe in nothing in Judaism, they don't believe in Shabbat, they don't believe in Kashrut, they don't believe in Torah, somehow comes Yom Kippur and they fast. Somehow they want to connect to the Torah. Somehow when it comes the time of Neilah, something draws them to the Sefer Torah, to the Torah. What happens? For those who have no interest, no belief in spirituality, something happens in these 10 days, especially on the day of Yom Kippur. What happens? Because that soul hears that sound that comes from Mount Sinai and says, Shuvah, come back to me. Come back to me. And we're supposed to go back to Mount Sinai. We're supposed to go back to God. And there is only one way to go back to God. Why do we fast on Yom Kippur? Why do we stay from all the physicality? It's not about suffering ourselves. It's not about harming our physical body. It's about leaving the physical body outside. Because this sound is a spiritual sound. It's Shabbat Shuvah. It's the Shabbat that God tells every one of us, come back to me. And this Shabbat, with this combination of the letters, you know, Zohar has a huge, it's only 52 verses, but Zohar gives almost 300 pages of what are the secrets of this parasha. And it's the most difficult aspect of Kabbalah. It's a section called Hidra Rabbah, where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai tells selected few of his students the most complex study of Kabbalah. Because it contains the seed. The reality is something that your soul understands. And the only way for us to receive it, if we let go of our physical desire, if we let go of the I, me, what about me? It's the me that prevents us to go back. Teshuvah means to go back, to return to Mount Sinai, to light force of God. Ezat Hashem, Zuchut of this Rosh Hashanah, Zuchut of this amazing Shabbat, Zuchut of this another brand new Sefer Torah. We've had 3 brand new Sefer Torah this year. And I have a news for you. There is going to be another new Sefer Torah right before Sukkot. My sister Miriam, who passed away 13 years ago, I can't believe it's been so long. She wanted to bring a Sefer Torah. But she didn't last. But her Sefer Torah is coming, and we're going to bring it for Sukkot because she passed in Sukkot. We're going to bring that Sefer Torah and we're going to read it in Sukkot. But before we get to Sukkot, we have another brand new Torah. And we're going to read from it. The Parashah Haazinu, this most beautiful section of the Torah that puts everything together and take us back to Mount Sinai. Shabbat Shalom.